Okay, first off, looking back at this past weekend, I thought we played fairly well, particularly early in the game. We got off to a fast start, got a big lead. It was 38-0 at half. Didn't really have a lot of production in the second half. That was a little bit of a disappointment. But nonetheless, we took care of business and got the win. And I thought Jordan played very well. David Reed, Jeremy Brooks, had some good individual performances. Eddie Wide chipped in with 85 yards or so. Defensively, it was good to see the run defense get back on track. We were obviously very poor the prior week, and it was good to see us get back there and hold San Diego State to, I think it was 55 yards rushing, which was a big positive in the game. So, anyways, puts us at 9-2. Obviously, got one to go. Rivalry game this week down in Provo. It looks like an even matchup on paper. Both teams 9-2 going into the game. Statistically, a lot of similarities, but it's even though it doesn't have championship implications this year, it's always something that gets the state of Utah excited, and it's what I understand is the only rivalry game this year that has both teams in the top 25. So I was told. I didn't research that, but if that's true, then that's good for the football in the state of Utah.
Have you seen the rivalry just kind of develop over the years now as being here as assistant and head coach, how it's kind of emerged?
Well, I just think it keeps getting bigger and bigger. I think it's certainly when both teams are doing well, that adds a different dimension to the game, whereas in a lot of the years past, one team will be up and one team down. So recently it's been both teams up, which is a healthy thing and a positive thing for the rivalry.
You were successful against Max Hall last year. How much of that defensive scheme carries over to this year, if any?
Well, you always look at the last year's game and take bits and pieces from it. You got to continue to evolve. You can't do the exact same thing every year. You got to continue to change based on your personnel, their personnel, what they're doing well, what you're doing well. And so we certainly look at it, and there certainly will be elements of that game that we hang on to and use this year. But you got to continue to update what you're doing and base it on the circumstances of the present year.
How key is Dennis Pitta to their offense and their success?
Oh, he's a huge key. He's their leading receiver. And between him and George, they got a bunch of catches. I think 90 some odd catches from the tight end position, which is about as many as all the wideouts combined. And so he's the go-to guy. He's one of the best tight ends in the country, and we've got to make sure that we try to slow him down a little bit.
Can you talk on you've got Aaron Roderick and Kalani Sitake have been around the organization. Is there anything that they use, any type of knowledge that they've gotten that they're able to implement during their calling?
Sure. They both have extensive backgrounds in the offense at BYU, and they know a lot of the details and the subtle nuances that you need to know to be able to defend it. And they both were in that program for several years as graduate assistants and players, and so that's certainly, even though things evolve and they're not exactly like they were back then, there's still a lot of the same principles and philosophies that have been they've hung on to, and that helps to have guys with that background.
How much do emotions play? Do you have to keep your guys kind of grounded and let them peak on Saturday, and how do you do that?
Yeah, that can happen during a week like this where you get a little bit excited and emotional early in the week, and you want to channel that, and you want to make sure, just like you said, that the peak is at the kickoff, 3 o'clock on Saturday, and it's a building process. You'd like to, just see each day become a little more spirited, a little more emotional, and then, of course, when the kickoff occurs, that's when you want to be at your high.
Can you talk about your corners and just how they've improved over the season?
Yeah, it seems like on a weekly basis, they've taken a step forward, and they were both. One was a nickel player last year, R.J. Stanford, and Brandon Burton didn't get a lot of time at all except on special teams. And relative to their experience, I think they've played very well. I think last time we looked, we're 10th in the nation in pass efficiency defense, which is really what we look at to decide or to determine how we're playing pass defense, and they are a big part of that. And both of them have taken steps each week getting better.